We asked you, our viewers, who you would like us to interview. And the next person was requested by so many of you on Facebook, we had to have him on. Mr. Lynx is a reggae artist who discovered his calling was to promote positive message of love and harmony in his music. He joins me now via Skype. Mr. Lynx, how are you?
I'm good, man. What's up? What's up?
Let me ask you, are you surprised that so many people wanted us to speak to you?
Yeah, man, I am.
Now,
It's good. It's good. I'm
what
happy.
is it about your message that connects so well with so many people? Because when we're talking about viewers, we're talking about viewers not just in the Caribbean, they're in Africa, they're in Europe, they're all over the place.
It's crazy. Um, I don't know. I mean, I just like the music that I do, I try to be honest in it. I try to be honest about myself from a God point and from my experience in life. And I always seek to try to make it something that encourages or uplifts people's spirit. So I guess they get it.
Now you talk about encouraging and looking at speaking from a God point, but you started life early with music with your parents, and then you go off and explore your own kind of music. Tell us about those early years with your parents, and then when you decided you were man enough to find something else.
Wow, yeah, well, I sang a lot with my father. He was like really the one that like tried to push me a lot with singing and stuff. So, um, I was young, man, just going to the churches and the little local events, and people just started to really like what I was doing. And I mean, I appreciate the old way, and the old music, the traditional music, but I always had a liking to reggae and hip hop and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Uh, but because of the faith, and in my days when I was younger, geez, you can't sing none of those things in church. 'Cause no, it's not if it's gonna be a problem. Yo, it's gonna be a problem. So I
So,
guess
so, so now, let me ask you, Mr. Lynx, in those days, as you put them, I mean, you look all of 1820, but
everyone says
but
that.
in those days, who were the artists that you looked to outside the church and thought, maybe I might want to do a bit of that?
Um, Buju Banton was definitely one of them. He had another artist called Capleton. Singers like Garnet Silk,
So hold on.
Luciano's, a
So
lot.
you were into not just the big beat stuff. You were into stuff that was lyrically sound.
Right. See, that's what really drew me into that type of music because they were not just. It was not about profanity or slackness. They were really talking about important social issues,
Wow.
but they were just talking from their point of Rastafarianism or just a conscious standpoint. So I think that's something that's needed to be said from a Christly person's perspective. Young people need to know, what am I going to do if I'm in a relationship? What am I going to do if I have circumstances, stress, strain? It's all fine to sing songs about going to the clouds and going into heaven and all of that, but what's going to happen whilst I'm here living on earth? How do I represent that properly?
So, Mr. Lynx, let me ask you. So you're about to go into a concert, be it in a church or outdoors. What's the one song that the people always clamor for and say, Mr. Lynx, man, you must sing that song right now?
Yo, to tell the truth, it's two of them. Like, I can't go nowhere and don't sing. One is Take Control, and the other, which is like the mega one, is Hold Me in Your Arms. Like, people go crazy for that song.
And Hold Me in Your Arms talks about what?
Actually, Hold Me in Your Arms was a song about myself. I never sat down and penned it. I just heard the track. And I said, yo, I told the engineer, just record. And believe it or not, all those words, they just flew. They just flowed, man.
So tell me some of the lyrics of Hold Me in Your Arms now.
Okay. It goes like, searching everywhere just to find. I looked everywhere, everywhere in mine, when all that I ever wanted was just a little piece of mine. But I found it in God's love divine. That's like the first verse.
Wow. Wow. So now, Mr. Lynx, you've got people clamoring for your work, wanting to hear you in Africa, in the Caribbean, and all over. What's the future looking like for Mr. Lynx? What's next?
Well, I mean, reality is, I mean, I'm sure the fans could realize I took a break for a minute. You know, I had kids, you know, I have a family and stuff like that. So for a minute, I just took a break. I revamped, and because I want to do a little more. And most people know about Mr. Lynx is I'm kind of a barrier breaking person. Like my music, you will not listen to it at first and think it's gospel because I try to make music that can reach more than Christians.
Okay, so Mr. Lynx, now you're talking some different something here now. So so where's Mr. Lynx going to? Where's Mr. Lynx? Are you about to release some dancehall stuff that might be edgy?
I wouldn't say edgy because in anything I do, Christ has to be in it. He has to be the center of it. When I say that, I mean based upon like the topics, the issues
Right,
that
right.
I want to talk about, because it's not really me I really sit around and listen to the youths, and they're like, why doesn't anybody say anything? Like I love the guys and the music that they're doing, but no one's saying anything about these issues. They're
Ah,
making it seem as if we're Christians, we're not supposed to say that. We're supposed to just be friends with everybody. And if we offend everybody or somebody, then we're in the wrong. But last time I checked, Christ offended a lot of people because
ah.
he was standing for truth.
Well, Mr. Lynx, it sounds like you're about to upset everybody, but we'll be right here with you. Thank you so much for speaking to us.